How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Riddler Khu, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we've got massive Pokemon news, rumors, and leaks to talk about. So sit back, relax, and let's get started right away. Kicking things off from this post right here from Riddler Khu. If you guys do not know who Riddler Khu is, I'm going to give you a quick TLDR. He is a Pokemon leaker, a legitimate Pokemon leaker who's given us real Pokemon information for last year. For Legends, Arceus, and BDSP, he actually leaked a bunch of the Pokemon that were going to be in that game that we didn't know about and a bunch of other information. So he's a confirmed, legitimate Riddler and leaker, and he came out and said this: I want to play some stage riddle games again, and new one is loaded coming soon, implying that he's going to give us some new information very soon. And also, he did reply to a few tweets here, so a few people were tweeting at him, and he did reply to a few of them. For example, somebody said, I love you, Mr. Khu, hope you have a great day. Do you know if Spriatito will be bipedal or quadrupled? He said, it stands up. Now, technically, well, it doesn't matter if, if it's on all fours or just on two legs, it still will be standing up. But I feel like the way he says it here is maybe him implying that this thing is going to be on two legs walking rather than on all fours. So you guys can kind of assume what that already means. So there you go. That's one of the first things. Next thing is also this answer he gave here, which is somebody's asking, Mr. Khu, I just have one question. Will all the previous started Pokemon be available in this generation? Because he wants to transfer shinies. He says, nope. Not sure of future DLC plans for Scarlet and Violet. It's a nope, though. So basically, you will not be able to, have all the previous starter Pokemon. So not all of them. Maybe a few of them. Usually the Kanto starters are always included. But this time around, there's not going to be all the old starters in this game as well, which is usually what the case is. So you will not be maybe seeing your Tricos or your Mudkips or maybe your Schnivies and stuff in here. But it is what it is. We move on to the next part, which is here from Khu as well, but this starts off from Soul Silver. This is a leak analyst, one of the boys in our podcast. He's a great man who really figures out a lot what Khu is saying, but he says right here, Khu said there'll be a Japanese-style bug in Scarlet and Violet, and this comes from the kind of thingy right here where somebody was asking, Khu, is there a good bug type in this game? And he said, yep, Japanese-style cool bug this time, and this is interesting. He says, this may imply more than just a new Pokemon. Scarlet and Violet may be like older generations. This wouldn't be an Iberian-inspired Pokemon, unlike how all Pokemon were British. So there could be more Pokemon that have inspiration from places other than the Iberian Peninsula. Because if you guys didn't know, Scarlet and Violet are both based on the Iberian Peninsula, which includes Spain and, of course, Portugal. So, there is a chance we might get some other Pokemon there. He says, this may also yet again be taken as evidence that at least in concept, these games and their Pokemon have been in development for a long time. At least I am personally convinced of this. There weren't strictly region-based Pokemon in Gen 7, and this bug is apparently a similar case, which is true. So it says, maybe I'm wrong and this recently designed it and it's just going to back to some old Game Freak philosophies. But either way, it is what it is. Which leads us into the next subject, which is this post right here. I think my friend is spot on here. I now kind of believe that Lechonk's evolution will be similar to the saying, when pigs can fly. And to that, Khu's white pig with makeup. Putting lipstick on a pig, will it actually, will I actually like it now? Well, he says, I added the wings on it on most animals, but I'm not a pig fairy type fan. So what is he talking about here? Well, one of his friends said, I think I found out what Lechonk is going to evolve into, and I think it's going to be a normal fairy type, which would be pretty interesting. Says, Arcan Soleil is a type of fairy animal that takes the form of a white pig that brings good fortune to those who manage to catch it. It was even considered a favorable omen just to have seen the lucky piggy. It originated in Europe, so it does fit with the theme. It does fit with as a possible evolution. And guess what, guys? Is it possible that the chunky little piggy is going to be turning into, a big piggy? Because he did post this as well here, saying it would look good if it were white. Maybe just implying it's going to be turning into, if it evolves, into a white-looking pig instead. But yeah, he says prepare eyeshadow and mascara when it evolves, guys, which does also fit with fairy types, because the fairy type Pokemon tend to be a bit more feminine in design. They have a little bit more of that type of feeling to them rather than the other way around, right? With dragon types. And if you look right here, he also included Pokemon with Aroma Veil. You've got multiple here, and Lechonk has Gluttony, and I guess, I don't know, it's interesting. I don't know, man. It's got Gluttony as a second ability, but Aroma Veil as well. So it is a bit strange. It does seem that that's going to be the case, that Lechonk's going to be evolving into a flying fairy pig, basically. But we move on to the next thing, which is from Soul Silver again, and he kind of added to a previously made post of his, where he specifically talked about, in relation to time, infrared and ultraviolet are one of the opposite sides of the light spectrum, and they will never meet. So you guys already know this if you have seen my previous videos. So if you do not know, this is the light spectrum. The light spectrum is literally the visible light that you and I can actually see, but then there is the ends of those spectrums where there are lights that we can't see anymore, like infrared and ultraviolet. Those are lights that we cannot perceive with our eyes because they're too far out of the scale, like the scope of what our eyes can perceive and our brains can perceive. So what exists on those side? Well, ultraviolet and infrared, which perfectly fit with Scarlet and Violet, right? Scarlet is just another word for the color red, more or less, and another version of the color red. And, well, Violet literally fits with ultraviolet, so it's perfectly matched up there. But that's not the end of this connection. If you look at the bottom here, you do also have the middle of it. The middle of the light spectrum has the color green. And the only person that we know is a nobody, aka Nemona, whose name Namo, or Nemo, literally means nobody or no one. And backwards her names means a omen, or an omen is what it says, which is basically just a premonition of something good or bad to come. So she's a omen of nothing, basically. That's what she is, which puts her perfectly in the middle here to be maybe connected to the third legendary in this game, which we think is going to be green colored because of the green stripe coming from her hair. So we'll have to wait and see. But here's kind of like the conclusion here. Basically, this metaphor kind of is simplified like this. Light and time spectrum, which is one end of the spectrum, which is infrared, which is the past, which is not visible. Remember, we cannot see that thing. We cannot see this, like, you know, this infrared ending right here. We cannot see this. Like, right where my camera is, you cannot see this because it's not perceivable to us. But you know what else isn't perceivable to us anymore? We cannot see the past. The past has already passed. We cannot go back to it. What I said 10 minutes ago, I cannot return back to that thing that was happening 10 minutes ago because it's in the past now. It's unchangeable. It's, you know, you can't change it. And also, on the other end, or in the middle actually, you have the rainbow, which is light, which is, you know, the present time, which fits again with, you know, all of this. Because remember, those two are at the ends of the spectrum. The rest of the spectrum is still the rainbow, which, the rainbow, by the way, literally is a dispersion of white light. Like, white light turns, or the color white splits into all the different colors in this case. But on the other end, you have, you know, violet, which is ultraviolet, and that's for the future, which also is invisible, because remember, the future is something, well, in the future. We can't see the future. We can't predict it. We can only wait for it to happen, and when it happens, well, then it's in the present and not anymore in the future. Same way that the past, every moment that passes, every second that happens right now, it's passing by us. It's in the past now. We can't go back to that. So we can't see past anymore. We can't see the future yet. All we have is now. So the game's theme is pretty clear, and I think we have a hint towards the legendary, which might be green colored or white colored, depending on what way you look at this whole spectrum theory. We move on to the next thing, which is this right here. So this is again from Soul Silver. Says he had a fun game with Pokisutami. Maybe if we mix and match and cut some of these, we can figure out about this the third Scarlet and Violet legendary. Last one I thought of is Timeless. But basically, they were trying to figure out, I think, the name here. And basically what she was saying is here, shoot me some words that you think may have something to do with the third legend. He says, okay, you asked for it. Fallen angel, angel, peacock, present, rainbow, light, nameless, nobody, source, sun, moon, white light, colors, visible light, heaven. And that's kind of some of the stuff. And then here, light is such a shame, though. Off the top of my head, I can think of some that are just one a little bit off from being perfect. And then butterfly, refraction, dispersion, color. He basically suggested a bunch of names to see if there is any that connects well to Japanese words that would fit for the name for the new, like the third legendary. Because we remember, we have Koraidon, Miraidon. Now we might have a third one, you know, that fits with the others, because the names of those two legendaries are both literally have the Japanese words for past and like future, or present time and ancient time, you know, like future time, sorry, and ancient time, basically in their names. So it's already present in their names that they're based on time. So we're trying to figure out if there's a connection there again with the word don at the end, but with a word that connects to the, you know, present, current time that fits in. So we're a bit unsure about that just yet, but we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. Next up, though, is again a connection over to Nemona, because right here, the official Pokemon company literally said, meet your friend Nemona. Nemona has a sunny, energetic disposition, and she absolutely loves Pokemon battles. So remember, has a sunny, energetic disposition. Sunny. This connects again back to the idea that we've talked about in previous videos, that this game will have a connection to sunlight. There is so many theories about sunlight in this game. I mean, the legendaries are facing the sun in the end of the trailer. There is loads of glimmering, like moments where like rainbow lights shine through in multiple parts of the actual trailers, both trailers. There's a lot of sun connection, and we think that basically, since the sunlight has to do well with the speed of light, because it travels at the speed of light towards us. it's been speculated that the speed of light is what's needed for us to time travel, which is quite interesting. So we've said that possibly the 2 new legendaries are basically surfing the time, right? They're basically like kind of hovering along, you know, the speed of light and kind of going between past and future and all that. And the 3rd legendary may be an evil one, or one that's supposed to stop those 2 from doing those things. And guess what? It's definitely connected most likely to the sun, because again, it all comes back into a circle. So how is it not like very clear then that Nemona is connected there? Because again, she has a sunny, energetic disposition. I mean, it is pretty on the nose. Next is a massive thing, okay, guys? This is huge, okay? So this is a post from Soul Silver about James Turner. Now, we're not going to go into this one right now, because we're going to look at what we're talking about first of all. Well, guess what? James Turner, if you guys do not know who this person is, he was one of the designers in Pokemon for the last few years. He was one of the people who designed a few Pokemon. We're going to take a look at which ones he designed, but he was the lead designer for Pokemon Sword and Shield, and he has now left Game Freak to form his own studio and the game over at a possible future. So he's going to be making his own stuff over there. Going to give a follow to that. But that he said, that's right, I'm no longer at Game Freak, but I still love them. And what is the deal with James Turner? Well, he actually worked on Pokemon since he made Shadow Lugia back in the day. He created Shadow Lugia. It was his creation, but he also created all the other Pokemon you see on the screen right now. He made Vanillite, Vanillish, Vanillux, Golett, Golurk, Volibee, Mandibuzz, Phantom, Trevenant, Buzzhole, Guzzlord, Poipole, Naganadel, Gigantamax, Gengar, Centiskorch, Gigantamax, Centiskorch, Sinistea, Poltegeist, Galarian Zigzagoon, Galarian Lanoon, as well as Obstagoon. So he made all these Pokemon you see on the screen right here, and he also worked on other projects and other things as well in the past. Interestingly, though, you had Riddler Khu kind of quote tweeting, or not quote tweeting, but actually taking a screenshot of a post over on 4chan where they said, Anons, we win, because he left the company, because a lot of people have blamed him for poor like designs in the games. I disagree with it personally, okay? I get it, people want to be based and say like, you know, mean shit, but I don't think that he's the reason the designs have gone bad, because one thing I know for a fact is that the man behind all the Pokemon designs that created the original 151, Sugimori, which is the main Pokemon designer usually, he is still a guy who looks over, he's still the man who looks over a lot of designs. He still is the person that they have to kind of be approved by. He still does, you know, look over everything that happens. He doesn't just let it happen, right? So Sugimori still has a hand in everything, which means that, you know, it is what it is. But also, this is not the reason Pokemon is bad. People blame James for the game being bad. He shouldn't be blamed. He's not the one who made, you know, certain games be certain ways. He just designed a few Pokemon, which I think are actually pretty awesome. One of my favorite ones is in here, Shadow Lugia. It's an awesome Pokemon. Centiskorch is fantastic. I love Galarian Zigzagoon. And guess what? Most of these are pretty awesome. Phantom and Trevenant, people love those. So I don't see any issue. The only one that people have an issue with is Vanillite, okay? That's just because it's an ice cream, and that's about it. But that's the only one that I see like the biggest complaints about. The rest of them are not even that freaking bad. And again, you know, he's not the one to blame for the downfall of Pokemon, so to say, because I feel like Pokemon is going upwards anyways in other ways, so it is what it is. But nonetheless, my point is that he shouldn't be blamed for it. And as being said here from Soul Silver, he says, P.S. I think that we may be looking at the tweet from Khu the wrong way. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I think he's lolling at the Anons thinking they won, and instead Turner did a lot of work on Scarlet and Violet. By now, most of the designs would be complete, and he only quit recently. Yes, and if he quit recently, that means that his designs may still be in these, you know, in Scarlet and Violet. They may still have designs in there, so keep that in mind. Just because, you know, he just went one way or another doesn't mean that all of a sudden his impact isn't still left on these games that are just coming out right now. He still could have been working on, you know, Legends, you know, Scarlet and Violet, etc. before he actually, you know, left the company, before he left Game Freak. And a lot of people are saying, oh, now that James is gone and Masuda are gone, Pokemon's gonna automatically get better. I don't really think that's the case. Again, those are 2 people out of very many people that have to make decisions, okay? You gotta understand, I think that Pokemon has the issue that maybe a lot of decisions are made by higher ups, and then kind of the guys further down the line, like, for example, well, Masuda not anymore, because Masuda is one of the main people over at the Pokemon Company now, but, you know, some people down the line kind of have to just do what they're told. So I think that's the bigger issue, rather than just blaming it on individual designers and developers. But I do think that it is unfortunate he left. He did have some great Pokemon designs. I do think some of these are great. I love Poipole and its evolution. I do like also, like I said, Shadow Lugia. Love it. The Golurk line are pretty cool. And I love Centiskorch. So I think he did make some great designs. And I don't think you guys, I don't think you guys, like, hate him either. I think he just genuinely has some great designs. But either way, it moves us on to the next thing, which is a massive post from Amartyesh World over on Twitter, who said, I've made 4 slides for 4 theories concerning these 4 symbols. Now, what is he talking about? Well, he has 4 different ones here. So, the first one that he has is up right here. So, he's talking about specifically, if you guys do not know, he's talking about this image right here. So, we're going to start off with number A up there, or not number A, but letter A up there, which is the one with, like, the 4 circles in the middle. And here's what he has to say about that one. He says, A. 1. It looks like a radar. It will be based on exploration. It's like Turo or Sada invented this radar to scan the changes in the timeline so they can track the Pokemon in the quantum world. 2. If you see the arrow inside the circle, it's like the following, like it is following each other, which might show that Koraidon and Miraidon are in a place of a loop of sorts, where a compass needle doesn't work, which again sums up to the quantum world, because as per Schrodinger's cat experiment, the quantum world is not fixed. And yes, this is something like I've also said, the idea of, like, Schrodinger's cat, which is the idea that, like, something, if something is inside, like if a cat's inside of a box, right, it both is and isn't alive. Until you open it, you don't have the answer. So in that moment, in the present moment, it's like a very philosophical way to look at it, but in the moment that cat's in the box, you do not know if it's alive or dead. So it is both. It's both alive and dead at the same time. It's just this weird kind of concept and cat experiment that was, like, kind of thought together by Schrodinger back in, like, long time ago. And it's a good way to kind of explain, like, quantum time and stuff like that. It both is and isn't at the same time happening, right? So both, like, as a Pokeball might be moving in quantum time, or a Pokemon might be stuck in there, it both is, in there, but also isn't in there, or, it is moving in there, but also isn't moving in there. It's really hard to explain it, but this seems to be making sense. It's an out-of-loop compass, or possibly a radar. The next one, which is B, which is this symbol right down here, like, not this one, but the one on the other side, the B letter, you've got that, which is the following. He says, B. So, 1, please look at the loops in B. This loop looks like a loop circle, which matches with theory for A. These circles might have a connection with Celtic petroglyphics. We find we find on Glycia in Spain. Jeez. These are prehistoric circles built by Celtics throughout Spain and Ireland, which connect with Professor Sada. 3. These Celtic rock arts of Spain and Glycia coincide both to the Scarlet and Violet theory and box art, which is true. The loops, the universe, and psi simple, the quantum science, together match with the loop quantum gravity, which combines universes and quantum science together, and this coincides with Professor Turo. So, it says right there, loop quantum gravity. So, it aims to merge quantum mechanics and general relativity, incorporating the matter of standard model into the framework of established for the pure quantum gravity case. This is just all very complicated, but basically it's this idea of everything going in a loop within, like, the quantum realm, so to say. Moving on to the next one, which is the C one. So this one is specifically the one on the top right here. You can see on the top there is that one that he's referring to here in this case. And here it says, theory on the C symbol. So, the mountain here could be a reference to the infamous Montserrat mountain of Spain. This mountain has been a place for paranormal activities containing space and aliens and time bending. Again, we got space and time. In 1973, the Civil Guard, Spain's national police force, found the body of a badly decomposed woman in the area. In a note in her pocket, the woman had written that she was going to meet with the Supreme Being. There are many time-bending incidents in that Spanish mountain. So, look closely at that triangle, okay? Might be the wait, so I think he's trying to say, okay, so look at the triangle, might be mountain, and that curve could be a being from the sky, as legend and UFO cases say. And that upside-down triangle might be a beam from where people are taken to somewhere else, which basically means the Scarlet and Violet games could show players reaching into the quantum level near a mountain area, possibly in that type of stadium. And number 2 here, the 2 zeros could be referencing to time bending as reported in Mount Montserrat. So that really has a connection to it. But yeah, legend has it that the angels came down from the sky and created the mountain and jarred edges with the help from a golden saw, which is interesting. And then the final one is the one down here, D, which is right here. And this one is the one that I've had the hardest time to figure out. But it says, theory on the D one. So, this looks like a star, which has been hinted throughout the trailer. So, I don't really know if it really looks like a star, but fair enough. the Japanese website and title logo. If we consider that small circle as a Pokeball, then those webs could be the energy field, which looks like the last scene of trailer 2. It also matches with concentric circles, the concentric circles theory. That's that spiderweb design we saw in trailer 1, and this design looks identically similar, which shows that the Pokeball outside the quantum ball suspending with 0 energy, and this symbol on the box art when the Pokeball takes energy of the quantum world. That's a mouthful, holy crap. But yeah, there you go, guys. So I don't really know if these theories are accurate per se, but I do think they're interesting theories that are worthwhile sharing anyways, because I think they do have just some level of value that I think is worth sharing with you guys nonetheless. But there you go, guys. What do you think about this? Let me know in the comment section down below, and let's move on to the next thing, which is, as you guys already know, I've already said this before, but in the past, we've already have a confirmation now that they've used beta Pokemon, because right, what you see here, these are beta Pokemon. These are Pokemon that were made as beta forms back in, like, you know, Pokemon Gold and Silver, I think, is when these were made, but these were scrapped. And recently, it's been told to us by certain people that they will be bringing some of these designs back, you know, possibly, but also, it's already been proven. Sirfetch'd, a Pokemon that was introduced in Pokemon, you know, Galar or Pokemon Sword and Shield, that was a scrap design of an evolution for Farfetch'd back in Generation 2 Johto, right? So Gold and Silver and Crystal. That was a design that was scrapped back then, which means that they are willing to bring back old designs if they can find a way to do it properly. So I'm just going to point out it is very much possible that they might still do that. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was going to be that for that one. I think the final thing we have here is just this right here, which is a massive post with some massive rumors. And I thought we would take a look at it because it is pretty big. It's from Shelly here sharing it. So it says here the following, right? So, general region is called the Already region, which I don't know if that's going to be the case. Gym leader can be taken on in almost any order you want. The gyms scale with the number of badges you have. You have to fight Gym 1 first, then Gym 2, 4 can be fought in any order, then 5, 7, and then you have to fight Gym 8 last. Well, he's kind of contradicting himself. Oh no, he does say almost any order you want. Okay, that's interesting. There are 2 new battle gimmicks. Alright, well, I wonder what there are. First are terrains, which will give certain passive effects in battle, such as certain moves and types being stronger or weaker. If you play Pokemon Reborn and Rejuvenation, you know exactly how these work. Second are Epoch Gems. Your Pokemon can hold these and transform into past and future forms of themselves. For instance, Pastian Mega is Bug Dragon type and is much larger and more menacing, while Future Pikachu is Electric Steel type and has cybernetic implants. That sounds a bit too much. Popibara, normal rock type Capybara Pokemon. Venobeak, which is a flying poison macaw. Its future form is flying fairy. Mealypest, which is a bug dark mealybug Pokemon. Apocalion, which is a rock psychic Mayan calendar Pokemon exclusive to Scarlet and used in Sada's team. And wait, NFT, which is a... Oh, really? NFT, dude, come on, man. It's an electric fairy monkey alien Pokemon exclusive to Violet and Terracine, dude. Monkey alien Pokemon. NFT, monkeys. I'm gonna be honest, you already know where this is going. Posticuffs is a electric fighting type, evolves from Palmy, which I don't know about that. I will say, though, that I do think Palmy is going to be an evolution. But Bertini, Koraidon is dragon fighting. We already know this. And Miraidon is dragon electric. We already know this because it's been confirmed by Riddler Khu, so this doesn't say anything here. We already know, by the way, guys, if you didn't know this, that the legendaries, Koraidon, is going to be dragon fighting, and Miraidon is going to be dragon electric. This is being confirmed by Riddler Khu. Again, a real leaker. Either way, Genzaidon is the third legendary. Irradian Oddish and Irradian Gloom are grass water type, and Irradian Beldum as well. Suneo, which is, I guess, evolves from Hypno. This is weird. And then it talks about characters. But yeah, I think for this one, we can pretty much confirm it as fake because of, well, that one post right there. And this one pretty much just says another kind of gimmick as well, I guess, which was that the Clock Going Berserk is going to be about past forms and future forms called tenses. But he also calls the region Ararana. So I think it's too hard for just a regular person to say, especially children. So I don't think that's going to be the case. I mean, Kanto, Johto, Sinnoh, you know, Hoenn, you know, Unova, Kalos, Galar, Alola. They're pretty easy to say. They're very short. That seems way too long. I don't think that's going to be, like, I think Azula or Azulo or something like that might be the actual region name because it's shorter and more simple to say. So I don't think that's going to be the name. And I don't really think the likeliness of us getting actual past forms and stuff is going to be very likely. But we'll have to wait and see the relation chance. But that's going to be pretty much the end of the video, guys. If you did enjoy, drop a like down below. Make sure to subscribe. My name is Riddler Khu. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out. And bye-bye, ladies and gents.